Hristo Stoichkov, a natural-born fighter and scorer, a kind of modern-day Ibrahimovic. He played as a left-winger in the dream team of Barcelona, scoring over 100 goals. In 1990, he won the European Golden Shoe, in 1992 he won the Champions League with Barcelona, and in 1994 he received the Golden Ball trophy. What else can I say? He is clearly the best player in the history of Bulgaria and one of the legends of world football. Wait until the end and you will see how he got a lifelong ban, but also how close he was to winning the World Cup in 1994 with the small Bulgarian national team. If you are new on the channel, welcome. If you want, you can subscribe because I post 1 or 2 videos weekly about, you guessed it, football. You might like it. Okay, let's get back to today's topic. I'll start with the beginning. Stoichkov was born on February 8, 1966 in the small and communist country of Bulgaria at the time. Born in the city of Plovdiv, he made the youth period for Marica Plovdiv. In 1982, when he was only 16, he began his professional career. He played 2 seasons for a team in the Bulgarian third league called Hebros. After scoring 14 goals for them, he was transferred by the biggest team in Bulgarian football, CSKA Sofia. This happened in 1984 when Stoichkov was only 18 years old. After a few matches played, the young Stoichkov shows his compulsive character. CSKA meets its great rival Levski Sofia in the 1985 Bulgarian Cup final. He was only 19 years old but was already known for his shocking temper and gigantic ego. During the cup final, Stoichkov and another 5 players got into a massive fight, and for that he was given a lifelong ban. Yes, you heard it right, lifelong ban. The country was still communist and such punishments were standard. But of course, the punishment did not stand because otherwise I was already at the end of the video. Later, the sentence was reduced to just 1 year of suspension. Thus, he made his comeback for CSKA on 30th of April 1986. Since then, he has become a key player for the next 4 seasons. In each of the 4 seasons, Hristo scored more and more goals. 6 in the first, 14 in the second, 23 in the third, being also the team's top scorer, and the apogee was in the 4th season when he scored 38 goals in only 30 league games. Of course, he was the top scorer of the championship, but more than that he had the most goals scored in Europe, equal to Hugo Sanchez from Real Madrid. Thus, the two shared the European Golden Shoe in 1990. This year also coincided with the fall of communism in Bulgaria and players were able to transfer easily anywhere in the world. Meanwhile, Barcelona's coach, Johan Cruyff, was looking for an aggressive type of player. In Barcelona, we play attacking and aggressive football. That's because everyone around the team has an aggressive and offensive attitude. If there are star players who are not aggressive, how can you have an aggressive team? Impossible, Cruyff explained. Stoichkov seemed the right man for such a role and Barcelona transferred him in the summer of 1990. Just a few months after the transfer, El Pistolero made the first mistake in a match with the big rival Real Madrid. Just before the halftime, the Bulgarian stepped on the referee's foot, being nervous about his decisions. Thus, he was suspended for 2 months. Cruyff said, "Before Stoichkov came, we had a team of very nice people, but you can just have a team of very nice people. You need someone like Stoichkov, who is aggressive in a positive way. He goes for the ball and when he gets the ball, he shoots at goal." The Bulgarian was left-footed and could shoot from any position. He was on the left side of the field, on the right, or even in the center. It didn't matter. If it was the slightest chance to score, he would shoot. Being a real scorer, Cruyff allowed him this movement all over the field, this tactic being something daring for the football of that time. Interchanging positions between teammates was a model that Cruyff met when he was a player in the 70s and remains a part of the Barca's DNA to this day. With an extremely strong team with Baquero, Ronald Koeman, who is the current coach of Barcelona, Michael Laudrup, about whom you can find a video on my channel, and of course Stoichkov. Barcelona won La Liga in the 1990 to 1991 season. That season, Hristo was the team's top scorer with 14 goals in the league and 22 in all competitions. This was the first season of the Bulgarian for the Catalans and the year in which the Dream Team started to gain traction. The following season was exceptional for Barcelona. They defended their La Liga title, won the Spanish Super Cup and their first ever European Cup. The European Cup is now called Champions League, and yes, it was not until 1992 that Barcelona won its first Champions League trophy. Stoichkov was again the team's top scorer and fully contributed to winning all the trophies. In the third season, Stoichkov becomes the team's top scorer for the third time in a row and Barcelona wins La Liga, the Spanish Super Cup and the UEFA Super Cup. Then came the 1993-94 season, which brought Romario to Barcelona. Stoichkov and him quickly asserted themselves as the most feared attacking duo on the planet. This time, Romario became the team's top scorer with 30 goals, but Stoichkov also scored 16 goals. With this unstoppable pair, Barcelona won the fourth consecutive title and reached the Champions League final again. Milan thrashed them 4-0, even if the Italians had many important players who could not be part of the squad. After this match, Cruyff's Dream Team started to fall apart, but we will talk about this later. After the end of the inter-club competitions, the 1994 World Cup from USA took place. Again, Romario and Stoichkov were the best, but separately. Romario for Brazil and Stoichkov for Bulgaria. Hristo brought the Bulgarians to the highest performance in the history of the national team, the semi-finals of the World Cup. On their way, the Bulgarians defeated teams like Argentina or Germany, until they were eliminated by Italy in the semi-finals. Stoichkov took Bulgaria to another level and was close to face his Brazilian teammate in the final. In addition, both won individual trophies. Stoichkov received the golden shoe of the tournament due to the 6 goals scored, and Romario won the golden ball of the competition in addition to winning the competition. If all this did not convince you how good El Pistolero was, find out that also in 1994 he won the Golden Ball award. At the time, it was an award only for the European players and widely known as the European Footballer of the Year award. Due to this rule, Romario could not win the Golden Ball, not being European. Before collecting his award for European Footballer of the Year in 1994, Hristo Stoichkov said, "There are only 2 Christs, one place for Barcelona, the other is in heaven." Yes, before Ibrahimovic, Stoichkov was the man who said such things, the OG. But, as I told you earlier, this fantastic year for Barcelona and for the couple Stoichkov-Romario marked the beginning of the end for Cruyff's Dream Team. The first important player to leave the team was Michael Laudrup, who was unhappy that he didn't play in the Champions League final. Then, Romario left, halfway through the championship. During the season, Stoichkov also got into controversy with Cruyff and it was quite clear that he would leave. Barcelona ended the season very disappointing, only on the 4th place in La Liga and winning only the Spanish Super Cup. However, Hristo was again the team's top scorer with 17 goals in all competitions. Cruyff said, "He's 95% and he'll go downhill very fast. The book on Stoichkov is closed. He got on badly or not at all with more than a third of the other players." Thus, the 29-year-old Bulgarian had to leave the team. Stoichkov was sold to Parma, where he would team up with Gianfranco Zola. His time in Italy was an unhappy one, marked tightly by overzealous defenders. Stoichkov and his volatile temperament found it a difficult place to play. No trophy won and only 7 goals scored in all competitions made him to transfer again. With Cruyff gone from Barcelona, the new coach Sir Bobby Robson re-signed Stoichkov in the summer of 1996, but his role at the club was reduced to being picked from the bench. Other options for Bobby Robson were Ronaldo, no, not this one, this Ronaldo, Luis Figo, Giovanni and Antonio Pizzi. Even if he was not a starter, Hristo appeared in 35 matches and scored 8 goals. But this was the beginning of the end for Hristo Stoichkov's career. Even Barcelona's new manager admitted it. He's gone, finished in many ways. He can't run, so how can he play? He's alright for half an hour, but long term, he's finished. Stoichkov started the next season in the Barcelona shirt, but after 6 matches and only 1 goal scored, he returned to CSKA Sofia, midway through the season to get games before the France World Cup in 1998. His plan didn't work out at all and he scored only one goal as Bulgaria exited at the group stage. From here, his career began to decline at only 32 years old. Frustrated with his lack of game time because of injuries, Stoichkov decided to learn his coaching badges and traveled the world for the next 5 years, gaining experience at lower levels. During the 5 years, he played in Saudi Arabia, Japan, and USA. He had no major achievements, but he was competitive to the end. He was 37 years old and played for DC United in the MLS. Stoichkov took his frustrations out on an 18-year-old player. The Bulgarian smashed the student's leg apart. He got a red card, $2,000 fine and 2-match ban. The game was abandoned with the opposing coach calling the challenge criminal. The even more interesting part of the story, it was a friendly match. At the end of that season, in 2003, he called time on his playing career at 37. He started his career with a live ban and finished it with a 2-match ban. That was Stoichkov. There is not much to say about his coaching career. He coached for several years but without any achievements, and apparently in 2013 he stopped his career. In 2016, France Football published a re-evaluation of the Golden Ball Awards presented before 1995, when only European players were eligible to win the award. They concluded that Romario would have won this trophy instead of Stoichkov, but the original recipient, however, remained unchanged. That doesn't change Stoichkov's incredible career. He remains a legend of Barcelona and of the world football. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you will return to the channel. The advice of the episode is a little more serious than usual because it's the first video of the year. Do something with your life. Learn a new skill, a new language, find a new passion, anything. Now is the time to start. See ya!